Basil Chapman, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you doing?
Well, I heard you're going to have a heat wave, but then it's going to break, thank God. You got 3 or 4 days coming at you. They're going to be pretty intense, man.
I know, but we've had very few 90 degrees or more days over the whole summer. It's been a very wet summer.
Yeah,
But
well,
yep,
you get
what can we do?
95 coming at you this weekend.
Okay, we'll have to deal with it.
Yeah,
It's all summer's so short. I got to appreciate everything we can
that's
get.
good.
Whatever.
Okay, so we get a hot market here too, Basil. What do you think?
So there are a couple of things going on. On a purely technical basis, I'm showing you here on the left side is the Dow Daily, here's the Dow Weekly, on the right is the monthly. What's really important at this particular time is that the daily chart, let me just show this here so that we always have new people. So let me just show you this here. I'll get it quickly. There it is. So in the Chapman wave methodology, I try to identify the lowest low bar, and all we do is we count each successively higher peak. We alphabetize them, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but it's that fourth highest peak, the peak D, where you've gone from a buy signal to a buy mode, and the obligation is in the buy mode that it should take you to at least a D, and then other things can happen. So with that in mind, look what happened when we went to the high back on the 16th of July. Went to a D, and then 2 days later, just a nominal E at 35,090, and then dropped sharply. Now what we've done is we've gone to a D, and today we just popped to an E, a slightly higher high, 35,285. So in the Chapman wave methodology, this is where we get kind of cautious, haven't done anything yet. We've actually got long positions. We added to the long position in the Dow Diamonds just recently. So we're going to see where this takes us. But this is where I start to get a bit cautious based on the Chapman wave notation. The technicals are still good. But what's interesting is the S&P, where did I type that? Let me just do that again. The S&P made a peak C and pulled back a tad yesterday, and today it went to leg D. And look, there's a little doji candle, all-time high, 44, 45, 21. So here again, the notation says, be a little careful here because this is where we expect at peak D or E to have at least some kind of a consolidation. It's leg D in the weekly chart. This is still leg B in the monthly chart, and it says because August has gone to a higher high in leg B, you cannot get a peak D until January at the very earliest of 2022. So far that's very good. Then if you're looking at the QQQ, there's an alternate count that I have, but right now what I am saying is that I'm watching this very closely because together with the QQQs, I like to always add the SMHs, which the QQQ is the Index 100 trading vehicle, but the SMH is the semiconductor, and that went to a peak D at 271.79 4 sessions ago with a deep red candle. Here, I'm watching this all very closely. We are fortunate. We've got about 5 or 6 of our positions have gone to all-time highs. One is a yearly high. You were just mentioning CLF. You're mentioning the steel companies. We've got Cleveland Cliffs. We went long on the I think it was the 28th of July at 22.49. It's trading right here at 26.17.
Nice.
So this is in play. It's a very nice move. It's a multi-year high, not an all-time, but a multi-year high, and it's getting into this Chapman wave inside track repellent zone. So in the weekly chart. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, I haven't got the signal other than the Chapman wave notation that says be really careful because we're about to have a consolidation. But I'm trying to get ourselves ready for that because under any other circumstances, the rally that we've seen has been so selective and rotated through so many different sectors that even in the let me just see Adobe. Adobe is just a leader, and yeah, it is made a peak D yesterday, 634.98, sharp red candle down. So I'm watching the weekly charts are still very good. I'm just on a short-term basis getting a little bit cautious. I think that we could have some kind of a digestive phase, but I haven't got it in my actual daily charts. As I say, if I go back to the Dow Industrials, this is technically still pretty good. So it's this notation that says to me, keep an eye on this because if there is a pullback in the Dow in the next 3 or 4 sessions below 34,900, that says, uh-oh, now we've started a consolidation. But up until then, I'm going to try to hold it as long as as long as I can. But I am getting ready for something because the turndowns have been very sudden. As you remember, the one that was that Friday when we hit the high on the 16th of July, that Friday made a high and then closed sharply lower. And then we had just one big smash on that Monday to the downside to 33,981. And then we rallied. So what happens in a case like that is usurp some of that negativity with that very quick move to the downside. And then it tries to get back on track to the upside. But you can see so far, we haven't really, from this rectangle, I always talk about rectangle formations can last a lot longer than your patience. From that, from the July high, we've been going sideways. In fact, you can even go back to the high of May the 14th, the week of May the 14th. And we've only just the last 3 weeks just snuck a little bit above the rectangle high. So all of it says to me, unless the Dow really breaks into the 35,370, 35,450 area, and it does it really quickly within maybe this week, I think we could have already started some kind of a digestive phase. But my big thing here is if it's rotational, even in the Dow, if some of the sectors pull back, there have always been other sectors that have taken its place. So how any correction comes about, you have to have bad news with the VIX rallying very sharply and the market taking any bad news seriously. So far, it's kind of ignored anything that could be bad news. So we'll see what happens over the next few days.
There's no doubt. The downdrafts, you blink and you don't even know it's a downdraft, right?
Exactly.
Folks, just come over to our website at TFNN. You go into newsletters, you see the opening call on the left-hand side. You whack that button.